Titan and I became partners on March 3rd, 2010. He's an absolutely wonderful dog. When it's time to work, Titan's completely focused. He doesn't get distracted by anything at all. He always gets the job done. When he's not working, he's just a goofball. He loves to play, fetch, and go for walks, and we have a lot of fun together.
The bond that Tara and Titan have goes further than just obviously handler and dog.
Do you love me? Tell me, you love me?
You can see that the care and respect and the love that Tara has for Titan, and you can see that Titan loves Tara just as much.
It was October 19th, 2011, and the conditions were very extreme.
And we received a 911 call with the information that there was a victim that had taken a quantity of drugs and pills, and she intended on ending her life that evening.
When I got that call that night, I was actually inside the station, and I had been contacted by telephone by the dispatcher to advise me that they needed the assistance of Titan and I to try to find a suicidal woman who had wandered off in a bush.
Because Tara and I had worked together on several tracks previously, she contacted me and said, can you meet me in the area that we triangulated that the victim was last known to be in?
As we were searching for the victim, she had maintained constant communication with her support worker.
Her voice was increasingly slow and slurred speech. We knew that she didn't have much time left. I think she, and this is my own supposition perhaps, but perhaps she didn't want to die completely alone. She wanted somebody to be there on the other end of the line, and so she continued to talk to our staff, and everything that she said, we relayed that information to the officers, including Tara and Titan.
The weather was very bad. We had extreme rain, and it was also very windy, which are two things that really make it difficult to find somebody.
So we developed a plan of attack. Tara and I decided that we were going to search a certain set of a certain area of the woods.
And I initially had Titan search on the south side of the creek, but there was no odor there for him to find.
We moved out of the area we were in, re-engaged in another area, and Titan picked up on a scent right away.
And at that point, the dog tracked for about 600 meters along the pathway and then down to the river's edge.
Tara and I are running down this path because we knew he had a target.
And at the river's edge, we found the victim's clothing that had been neatly folded.
Titan caught some movement, and at that point we observed the victim sitting on the riverbank with her legs in the water.
She was so determined to end her life that she immediately stood up and jumped into the river.
Because the river is swollen and it's moving so quickly, we can't get to her. She's in the center. She's not saying anything to us. She's just being swept down.
So Constable Stapleford, Titan and I ran after her, encouraging her to grab onto something to stop herself from moving along the river. And at one point she was able to grab onto some trees that were sticking out into the water. The
water's moving so quickly, it's loud, and we're yelling to the victim to hold on to the branches. I got on communications and was able to speak to one of the other officers that had arrived in the area and direct him to where Titan was barking and where we had our flashlight so that they could help from their side or help from the other side of the bank.
If someone calls for help, if someone makes that call, I think it is a cry for help. I can't speak for her personally, but we're under a certain obligation to help her, to find her, and then allow the medical professionals to work with her.
If Titan hadn't been able to work through it and hadn't been able to ignore the conditions, then I think we would have been dealing with somebody that was deceased as opposed to somebody that we were able to rescue.
That night I feel that Titan went above and beyond anything I've ever asked of him in the past, because everything was against us that night. We really didn't know where to start. We had no idea where in the park the victim was, and Titan continued to search until he found her.
He saved somebody's life, and it was more than just a usual track. It was more than just a usual occurrence where he was tracking a bad guy or he was searching a vehicle or things like that. He saved somebody's life.
Titan being inducted into the Purina Animal Hall of Fame is one of the proudest moments of my career. Titan has spent his entire life working for the members of our community, and I'm extremely proud for him to get this award.
These men and women, and Tara in particular, work endless hours, devoting their time to the service dogs, and it takes such an enormous amount of patience and dedication, and I'm just really thankful that Purina is honoring these animals. It's not just about a working dog and a police officer. There's a lot more than that. There's a real respect and a loyalty and a compassion between the two of them, and Tara deserves a lot of credit for that.